Am I in a rebound relationship? Hey folks, Jim Miller here, helping you find and keep the love of your life. Just came down here to try and check out a sunset there behind me. A little cloudy tonight to see a whole lot of it, but wanted to shoot out a quick video. If you're new to the channel, I ask you to smash the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course tick the bell icon so you're notified whenever I upload new content, which right now is pretty much every day. Let's get right into the content here tonight. It comes from an email that I got. This gentleman, 35 years old, was in a 3-year relationship, which ended 2 months ago. And he says to me that about 2 weeks after the relationship ended, he met the love of his life. And they've been just so happy ever since then. Somewhere along the line, he heard this philosophy about a rebound relationship and wanted to know, was he in a rebound relationship and would it last? Was there any chance of it lasting? Well, I'm not a fortune teller and I have no idea. Do I believe in love at first sight? Absolutely. Do I believe that you can know if you've met your soulmate within a few weeks of it? Absolutely, I do believe it. I've seen it happen. But in a situation like this, after a 3-year relationship, a few weeks outside of it is a little tough to judge, and it depends on where he was emotionally. I have no idea where he was emotionally because he really didn't go into that detail in his email. You know, I was in a 6-year relationship at one point and I got out of it, and a week or two later I was fine. The thing is that I had actually emotionally kind of checked out of that relationship. You know, during the last year and a half, I had kind of emotionally checked out of it. We were still together, but we just weren't together, if you know what I mean. So emotionally, after it ended, it was almost more of a relief to me. Now that said, I've been in relationships of a shorter period of time that I wasn't prepared for them to end, and it took me months to get over those. I recall one time a good friend of mine who was in a relationship for a couple of years, and it ended, and about a month and a half after it ended, you know, somebody fixed him up with a friend, and he went out on this date, and I can remember asking him, hey, what's her name? What about your ex? And he's like, who? You know, because he was so happy with this new woman and whatnot like that. But that was after 1 date, 2 dates, something like that. That was a rebound in his case. He was not emotionally prepared for it to go back into it. And they went out on a couple of dates, and she just wasn't interested. The attraction wasn't there, the chemistry wasn't there, and he was a little heartbroken over that because he kind of thought, hey, you know, this is my relief. So we have to be okay on our own. So that was a rebound relationship, which, you know, he took all that baggage that he had in his old relationship and he just kind of laid it on her porch, and she just wasn't ready for it. Again, she didn't feel the chemistry, so it's hard to tell whether or not a rebound relationship is going to last or not. I have seen them last. I have seen them fall apart, though, and I've seen people devastated when they do fall apart because they go through this cycle where they're with their ex, and then their ex, and they're miserable, and then they meet this person, and they throw their hopes and their expectations right there, and that just doesn't last. And when it doesn't, then you've got 2 relationships to kind of grieve. So be careful dating shortly after a breakup. You know, it's okay to go out and maybe be more friendly. Be careful of the romantic involvement. You know, there's an old saying that the best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else, and I don't agree with that at all. You know, at least not initially, at least not early on. I believe that's just a way of you know, distracting yourself from dealing with the issues. You know, most of my videos, if you do watch them, and I hope you do watch them, are about mindset, and they're about becoming a better version of you than you currently are. That's what needs to happen here. There are techniques and there are tactics and there are tricks and manipulations. And, you know, a woman that I really love, or a person that I really and truly love, I don't want to trick them and manipulate them into coming back with me. You know, there are techniques that can help somebody to come back, but I wouldn't want to trick them. Is that what you want? I mean, there are some tricks and techniques out there. There are some ways to do it. But if you don't deal with the problems that initially caused the relationship to break up, guess what? Even if you get back together, it's probably not going to last. That's one of my lines from the forums that I write in. You know, your ex is an ex for a reason. And if neither one of you makes any changes, even if you do get back together, it probably won't work. So if you can't work it here, it doesn't mean you can't work it with somebody else. It doesn't mean that you can't. But if you're very new out of a relationship, you're fresh in a breakup, might be a little early for you. You might not want to jump right in there and see what's happening. Give yourself a little time to heal, to grow, to take care of yourself more. That's what's important, is taking care of yourself. You have to be okay with yourself. When you're okay with yourself, you can be okay with other people. Anyway, folks, Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life. Check the description box down below. I've got a couple of links in there for some free ebooks, 7 Simple Ways to Get Your Ex Back. Won't answer all those questions, but it'll help you on the path. It'll help you on the journey. It'll start you down the road anyway. And then another one called Desire Principles, which is really more for women when men start to pull away. Also, my #1 recommended Ex-Back program. There's a link to that down there. Check that out, and some books that I would recommend. One of them called How to Be an Adult. It's one of my favorite books ever. Actually, I've got a link for that down there. And check out my other videos, folks. Really, I would appreciate it. And again, Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life. Good night. See if that's sunset. Yeah, see? It's real pretty, but it's kind of behind the clouds right now. So have a great night. Bye.